for which any of these things can work. You know, one opportunity for some of those uses is what I call the hilltop hospital site, you know, which would have such a great presence, and particularly the downward sloping area underneath it, converting that into a park-like sort of amphitheater that flows down to the Twin Springs Park. You could almost, that in the library in conjunction with the Sacred Arts Center at the old church, and that park connection really creates almost sort of a civic, really more of a cultural corridor into your downtown. You can't go wrong with that site. It's a great site, great opportunity. I will be honest with you, it's an expensive site. It is a long-term site. Another great opportunity, and this is where, if I'd had more time, the photo that should be here is your post office. So in your mind's eye, see your post office. That is also a great site. I call that sort of the center block catalyst site, because it's right in the center of a block in the downtown area that could create a lot of momentum in traffic, particularly because you've got the, again, pretend this is you. You got this great, WPA, Art Deco period post office. You've got a great sort of plaza space in between the little alley, and then you've got this great, the old Jones General Motor Store, which is down Days or something like that. So really, really cool buildings. You've got two things that need uses. You need a new library and you need a museum. I would encourage you to look at the assemblage of a catalyst project from this side in some combination of those buildings in that plaza. Because the other thing you possess in the city's wisdom, they purchased a piece of property for a future parking resource. And you're blessed because of the topography of the land. You can probably do an over-under parking deck. What that basically means is from the high side people park and from the low side people park underneath. You don't have to build a parking garage, but you get two levels of parking. The beauty of this site is it's already available. It's ready to be rehabbed right now. And I think it could in the short and the medium term infuse that part of the town with some activity and animation. I know Sandy's vision was in that plaza by the post office was to create, some sort of outdoor dining and gathering space related to, whether it's an ice cream shop or a sandwich shop in association with either the library or the museum. But I just think it has a great opportunity to do that. Last but not least, and I'm done, in the very long-term future, I would strongly encourage you to create some form of a visionary, visual community master plan. And the reason for this is simple. Your city and your Main Street folks have created some very, very enviable plans, such as comp plans, land use plans, parking plans, things of that nature. But in order to get the community jazzed about that, you need to engage them in a visionary plan that they can see things and dream really big about the future. And so, again, we will make some recommendations about some of the things that should include. But that would be kind of one of the big recommendations to you going forward. Thank you so much.
Wow. Are you excited?
Yeah.
Are you pumped up? Are you pumped up?
Yeah.
Now you got to go to work. And I want to thank the team members for all of their fabulous suggestions and recommendations, and as they've all said, we'll issue a report here soon. But I know we're a little over the time, but we want to give you an opportunity. If you have questions that you want to ask us now, we'll take a few minutes to do that. Anybody, questions, comments on what you've seen and heard?
What kind of these resources are available at Siloam Springs, Greg, as far as getting help on these buildings?
You can call us and we'll work with you.
What's the realistic timeline of implementing a lot of these things? Or is it a 2 to 5 year implementing, or are you thinking sooner than that?
Well, I think everything, some of the organizational stuff is immediate. Some of the promotion stuff is certainly immediate. Keith mentioned some things that are immediate. Even some of the design things are immediate. But there's also some longer term projects that are in there. So I think what we'll do is break it down into short and long-term recommendations in the report, so you don't have to figure that out yourself. So it'll be kind of self-evident for you. I wasn't being sarcastic. I was
I think it's
Depends on-
I just think it'd be good for the crowd maybe to hear what the resources are there.
Sure, sure. We, and thank you, I'll just explain from a Main Street, Arkansas perspective, we have, all of our services are free to you. So Susan, when she comes and works with merchants or property owners, there's no charge to anybody. Mark, when he comes and works with the merchants on small business practices or issues that a merchant might be having, again, no problem. I typically work with the board and the executive director on organizational and promotional issues. So that's a benefit of being part of the Main Street Network. Currently, you're an Arkansas Downtown Network community, so your services from us are a little bit limited. So we're working to hopefully change that for you, and when that happens, then they'll be unlimited, so you can deal with them anytime you find. Yeah, we're excited. If there are no more questions, I will adjourn this meeting, but we're going to hang out for a while next door and would love to talk to you individually. So